Hello, welcome back to my training room. This is Tactical Tuesday with Johnny Tiger. The date is June 9th, 2020, week number 15 of the coronavirus, social distancing, staying at home, all that fun stuff. There, now get that bit of unnecessary aggression out of the way. Today, I want to talk about line versus curve, or some people will say center line versus circular. No matter how it's put, it can sound very, very confusing to new fighters, new practitioners in various martial arts. So let's break this down to something simple that everyone can have a chance of understanding. When we talk about martial art, what are we basically talking about? Self-defense, martial art, whatever. What are we basically talking about? We are talking about knowledge and movement. We're talking about gaining the knowledge to know how to move, to deal with physical confrontation. That is the essential, bare bone, the most stripped down to the skeleton idea behind martial art and self-defense. Now, from this bare branch, there comes two separate lineages, two separate ideas. One is to think, to move in a straight line, like a bullet, like an arrow. Point A, point B, point A, point B. No complication. The other branch teaches us to think in a circle, to learn to generate force and deflect force by moving in a circular motion, such as the common forearm attack to the torso. You don't just pull back and go forward. You need that little bit of a twist to generate that kinetic power. Similarly, when we look at how the world is made, when you want to move a 1,000 pound contraption of wood, and plastic, and metal, what do? Well, you put wheels on it. The wheel go round and round, and that allows you to move that object. When you want to move a 1,000 pound machine through the sky, you put propeller or rotor on it. Again, things move the air round and round, generating the force to lift that machine off the ground. Boat, bicycle, a lot of things in this world require you to have a circular motion, a circular object to generate that force, to direct that force, to make it easier to move. Thus, we end up with two ideas of martial art, and a lot of time you'll hear one say the other one's no good. The praying mantis style will say that the circular motion allows them to generate speed, precision, and save a lot of energy. The tiger style will tell you that by moving always in a straight line to the center, straight to the point, allow them to maximize their impact. Neither of them is wrong, and neither of them is right 100% of the time. First, let's talk about striking mechanic, and then we'll touch upon defense and grappling. It's not going to take that long because it's really not that complicated. Assuming I have room to move, assuming I'm not backed up against the wall, assuming that the person in front of me gives me an arm length distance to strike from, the most important thing I need to know, no matter if it's a kick or a punch, is that I need to make sure everything line up like a conveyor belt to generate maximum force. What do I mean by that? Let's say I'm just going to throw a two-handed punch at my target Bruce here. I'm standing up tall, military style, shoulder back, chest out. I look really impressive. Well, probably not, but I think I look very impressive. And then I throw a punch, two-handed punch or two-handed shove from this position. What happened? Well, I probably move him a little bit, but I move myself uh, a lot. I stumble myself back. Why? Because when I make impact, when I make contact, the force travel from my hand to my wrist to my elbow to my shoulder, and then there's nothing behind my shoulder. Empty air. So I have just as much of a chance of throwing myself off balance as anything else. Right? If I throw an open hand slap from the side, if I keep my arm straight, pow! Yes, I might damage him, but most likely I just hyperextended my elbow because the force go from my palm to nothing, nothing behind my palm. That's not the ideal way of striking. Now, if I stand and lean slightly forward at the waist, tuck my chin down, drop my weight, drop my hip, and from this position, throw a two-handed punch to Bruce. I don't move. My body stay where it is, and he get hit a lot harder. Again, if I throw that open-handed slap from the side, rather than keeping my arm straight and come across like this and hyperextend the heck out of my elbow, if I bend my elbow, keep my elbow bent and up, so my elbow is behind my wrist and my shoulder will come behind my elbow. Wow! I can do this all day without hurting myself. If I throw a kick while my body is upright, I throw myself off balance because the force go from my foot to my knee to my hip, and then there's nothing behind my hip. Again, empty air behind my hip. So that's going to throw myself off balance. But if I throw that kick while tilting my body back, very balanced, very balanced, very balanced. So with those three examples, what are we seeing? We're seeing that it's important to think in that straight line or as straight as you can get. By bending forward, slightly dropping my weight so my hip is behind my shoulder, my fist, my my elbow is in front of my shoulder, my wrist is in front of my elbow, and my knee behind my hip, my heel behind my knee. From fist to knee, I'm a relatively straight line. Every bone is behind the next bone. Every joint is behind the next joint. Things line up, they help each other. And what's behind my heel? Mother Earth herself. In a sense, I'm punching using the force of the entire Earth. Sound very cool, I know. Wish I coined that. But anyway, open-handed slap, same thing. I come from the side. If I go straight arm, there's nothing behind my hand. I hurt myself. If I turn into it, my elbows behind my hand, my shoulders behind my elbow, my other shoulder is behind this shoulder. That's way more stability, so I don't hurt myself. Same thing with a kick. If I kick while standing still, I'm driving myself back because the force come up to my hip and then nothing behind it. But if I lean back slightly, then from my foot, come up to my knee, come up to my hip, come up to my shoulder, much more balanced. This is moving in a straight line when you're striking. Moving in a line. Always connect dot 1 to dot 2 to dot 3 to dot 4. Now, when do we strike using a circular motion? When is a better time to use a circular motion? It's when you don't have a lot of room. Let's say, let's say there's a wall behind me and Bruce is pressing into me. I don't really have the room to get everything to line up. I can't even get my arms to go straight. So how do I strike from here? Well, this is when kinetic force and momentum comes in. We don't have the ability to generate that straight line. So this time we have to go in a circle. If I punch from my belly to his belly, which is a bare 6 inches in front of my belly, it doesn't. I can hit hard from here, but a lot of people can't, right? It takes a lot of training to deliver this short, hard punch. But if we think in the circle, then I don't have to go straight. I can come out and come in, flare out to the side and come in, flare out to the side and come in. That allow me to generate that amazing impact, amazing kinetic force by generating momentum with the circle. This is the same principle used in a lot of kicks, such as the spinning kick, like that, or the wrist bash. If I just bring my wrist up and drop it down, no power, no power. Maybe the weight of my arm and a bit of my arm muscle, but there's no way for me to get a line behind that because the angle is wrong. I'm going up to down, so how do I get the line behind that? So I have to swing in a circle, swing in a circle, swing in a circle to generate the momentum. So as you can see, there are times when you need to move in a circle, think in a circle. That time when you can utilize that straightforward approach. There are times when you want to be a churning propeller. There are times when you want to be that arrow or that bullet. It's all depending on distance. Now, when we are defending, when we are on the defensive, then barring very, very limited situations where I can uh, think of that you would want to think in a line, almost without failing, when you're defending, it's always best to move in a circle. This is why defensive martial art, crane, some part of snake, uh, some part of monkey, uh, and some styles of karate. And if you look at Aikido and Judo, even Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, a lot of these martial arts move in a circular pattern, circular way. Because when you're defending, let's say the person coming in with a punch, if I want to move in a straight line, I either move to the right, which he come in with a hook, uh, move to the left, come in with a backhand, I move back, and he will just charge in and punch me anyway. I definitely don't want to move in right into his fist, right? So in this case, moving in a line doesn't help me. In this case, I need to think, okay, how do I get around this? How do I get around him, get around his hand, get around maybe a knife in his hand? Getting around means move in a circle, deflecting the force while moving in. Now, of course, after I move in, I can go back to straight line, as we often see in Wing Chun, right? In Wing Chun or martial art, center line martial art like that, we can move in a straight line and go back to, yeah. We can move them, move move in a circular pattern, and then go back in with a straight punches. Now, there are some Wing Chun uh, 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 or other center line move, martial art, that will tell you that you got to move in when they throw a punch. You go over or under their punch. You still move in straight. But honestly, that only really apply if you are really, 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 really good, and the person you're fighting is not really that good. Because if the person you're fighting is really good, or really big, or very strong, or very high, or any combination of the above, most likely you try to move in straight, you get grabbed and choked, thrown, kicked, stomped, whatever. Especially really big guy, moving moving in straight while trying to defending against them is hard. It's really hard. Not to mention when they are coming towards you, oh boy, you better have some good circular defenses in your mind so you can get behind them. So, barring a few examples as exceptions, when you're defending, think round, think circle, think angles. Don't stand there like a rock. Don't just move left, right, front, center. Last but not least, grappling. When I'm grappling, uh, I am utilizing a bit of both. When you're in this close-up grappling situation, if I want to muscle someone this big and heavy, just going straight is not going to get me anywhere because he's heavier than me, he's bigger than me. I mean, this guy here is not even fighting back. If he's fighting back, that's even harder. So when I'm grappling someone like this, I want to think in straight line as far as I want my shoulder to be over my hip to be over my leg to be over my foot. I want the stability. That's as far as I go. But once I actually start to try to throw him, then I want to think in a circular pattern. How do I redirect his force and his weight so his own momentum can help me bring him down? Obviously, there's a lot more to it. Sometimes some of these line theory, circular theory can take the rest of your martial art career to really come to terms with. But I hope that what we talk about today is giving you a basic understanding of how things work, what things should look like, and how to apply circular motion and straight center line motion. Thank you for checking out Tactical Tuesday. We'll be back again tomorrow for Wisdom Wednesday. For now, stay safe, stay strong. Have a good night.